Big surprise, I collect video games. I've been doing it since I was a kid, before video game collecting was really even a thing. In recent years, classic video game collecting has become something of an industry, which has had some positive effects like new ways to play old games on modern TVs, and some negative effects like crazy high prices for a few rare or popular games. But there's one thing I see people doing that just doesn't make sense to me: collecting every single game ever released for a particular console. Now I can see the comments already. Who are you to say what counts as a collection? Why do you get to make the rules? I'm not trying to make up any rules. People can do whatever they want. If you want to own every Wii game ever released in North America, for example, you can do that, of course. My question is just, why? Let's stick with the example of the Nintendo Wii. If you felt like it, it wouldn't be that hard to collect every game for that console. Several people have done it. Why Wii games? Well, because they're super cheap. And they're super cheap because most of these games are total garbage. Absolute shovelware. Terrible sports games and licensed movie tie-ins. Awful minigame collections with covers that make them look as much like Wii Sports as they can to try and fool grandma into buying them for you for Christmas. It's not an exaggeration to say that of the 1,244 unique Wii games released in the US, there are only about 70 that I consider to be worth playing at all. 70. Now I know that's a matter of opinion, but you check the list of games on Wikipedia for yourself and see if you want to play many more than that. I'll bet you don't. But just to avoid an argument, let's say you love 3 times as many Wii games as I do. That still leaves us with over 1,000 duds. So why would anyone want to own 1,000 games that they don't even like? Well, I can only think of one reason. It's just to be able to say, I own every Wii game. Is that a valid reason to collect games? Is it worth all the time, money, and effort involved just to occasionally hear somebody say, wow, that's impressive? I don't think so. It's a stunt, like cooking the world's biggest meatball or growing your fingernails out for 80 years. The way I see it, it's actually a weird kind of vanity. For me, it boils down to this. If the only reason you collect games is to impress people with your collection of games, you should probably find a new hobby that you actually care about. Complete collections aren't so much about the games as they are about you and the attention you want. When you hear that someone has a complete collection of games, what's your reaction? Wow, that person's so cool. Man, they're so lucky. My first reaction is generally, they must have a lot of time and money to waste. Look, I've got about 2,000 console games for various systems. For the most part, it's a curated library of the best games of each console, so I can share them with family and friends and just have them around whenever I'm feeling nostalgic for one of my favorites. Now, I'm not talking here about collections of every game in a series. I have every Zelda game, every God of War game, the entire Uncharted series, every Mega Man game, and so on. I didn't set out to collect these series on purpose, though. In fact, I hadn't really thought about the fact that I owned these complete series until I started thinking about this video. No, I own those games because they're great games. Not because I'm trying to impress anyone with how much money I've spent or how much of my basement I've filled up. Look, I don't really mean this video to be negative. What I really want to do is encourage people who feel like maybe their collection is substandard or inconsequential. To those people I say, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't let people tell you that your collection isn't what it should be. Don't collect to impress, collect to enjoy. If you love video games, your collection should be comprised of the games that you love. Games that mean something to you. Games that you keep coming back to year after year. Even after all that I've said, if collecting all the games somehow makes you happy, by all means, go ahead and complete that collection. Just know that nobody's impressed that you own M&M kart racing. No one will ever ask if you've got Space Chimps. And that mint copy of Barbie, Groom and Glam Pups is gonna sit on your shelf, unplayed, till the end of time. If I had a copy of Stadium Events right now, I'd sell it in a heartbeat and buy $10,000 worth of games that I actually care about. Thanks for watching.